Go into your exercise folder and you will find an image that begins with 540. Go ahead and open that one up. Photograph of a beautiful redhead. Now, redheads are typically pretty fair complected and have freckles. My sister has freckles. She's a redhead. What I want to talk about in this lesson is managing individual areas of color by using the sponge tool right over here. Now, it has two purposes in life. It will either increase the intensity or the saturation of a color, or it will decrease that intensity, desaturate it until it goes down to a shade of gray if that's what you want. I want to add some color to her lips. I want to remove the yellow. There's not much, but that yellow that's on her teeth, maybe brighten her eyes up just a bit and actually reduce the intensity of her hair, just for practice. So let's do this. Let's come up here and see what we got. Up here we have a desaturate and a saturate. Now I want to start by removing the color from the teeth, the yellow, so it's a desaturate. We don't have an exposure, we have a flow, because on the other two tools we use, the dodge and burn tools, they changed exposure. But it works in a sense the same way. In other words, the higher the number, the faster it goes. I'm going to leave that actually at 50%. I'm going to turn off vibrance. Now, if you leave vibrance on, even if you're working in desaturate mode, basically what happens is it will leave some color. I want all the color removed from her teeth. So let's do this. We got everything set up there. We always work in a copy, don't we? Control-J, Command-J on a Mac, Control-J in Windows. This is destructive editing. Come over here, and let's double-click on the Zoom tool. Go big or go home. And then let's go back to our tool. Let's see what kind of brush I have here. Make that a little bit smaller with a left or right bracket key. I love those shortcuts. They can save you so much time. And just start wiping across the teeth. Now, with a flow of 50%, it will work relatively fast. If my goal is to reduce something all the way down to shades of gray, it's fine if it works fast. When I'm trying to add color or maybe a certain extent, a percentage of lowering, then I'm going to use a lower number because I don't want it to work that fast. Now let me go ahead and use my left bracket key once or twice to make that brush just a little bit smaller. I still love that statistic. 1 hour out of every 8 hours working in studios can be saved with using shortcut keys. That's amazing. Okay, so we got just about all of it out. I'm just about done. He says as he continues to paint, we can always come back if you miss something. Okay. Stop, Andy. You have done enough. Now, if we come over here, you can see, indeed, we did remove that yellow. Now, let's stay here and let's fix her lips just a little bit. So I'm going to change to saturate, increase. I'm going to reduce my flow to about maybe 10, somewhere around there. And I am going to turn vibrance back on because I want the vibrancy of the color too. Come over here again, see what we got. A little bit of a bigger brush maybe. And just begin painting. Now again, you can easily go too far with this, okay? It is an easy thing to do. So you want to be careful. And every once in a while, maybe stop and just click over here and see what you've done so far. Sometimes it really is kind of hard to tell how aggressive you have been with either adding or removing a color without stopping and looking at it occasionally and deciding if you like it or not. Let's take it down a little bit, double-click the hand tool, and see what we got so far. Okay, slightly increasing the color intensity of her lips, reducing the yellow on her teeth. Let's fix her eyes just a little bit. Let's double-click on the Zoom tool again, and let's come up here. And let's add saturate. So everything's fine up there. And we add a little bit of color to those eyes. Why not? Same thing over here. Now I'm actually going to try to avoid that strand of hair, if I can. Just like that. Okay. Let's see what we got. I like that. Let's double-click the hand tool, take us back down into a reasonable size. One more thing. Let's lower slightly the intensity of the color of her hair. And so we come back to our tool right here. Desaturate. And I'm going to lower the flow even a little bit more. And come over here. Turn this back on. That might help, Andy. There we go. Let's go ahead and get a bigger brush. And just come over here and just do a little on there. Not a lot, okay? I just want to reduce it just a little bit on those highlights. Maybe a little down here too, but not much. Let's see what we got. She just knocked him down just a little bit. We put some color in her lips, fixed her teeth, brightened her eyes, lowered her hair just a little bit. Good practice for this tool. But remember, all three tools, the dodge tool, the burn tool, and the sponge tool, are destructive editing. So always work in a copy layer. That does give us actually one more advantage. If we do feel overall we did too much, don't forget you can change the opacity to blend it back into the original and restore some of the original image. Even though it is destructive editing by definition, we still have some control by using the copy, so don't forget that.